Today we'll be talking about the descendants of the Protestant Reformation. While the Protestant Reformation was considered radical at the time, it paved the way for an even more radical religious movement, the Radical Reformation. Unlike other Protestant groups such as the Calvinists and the Lutherans, the Radical Reformists practiced believers' baptism, meaning the person would be baptized after publicly declaring his faith in Jesus Christ, rather than as an infant. The Radical Reformation led to the birth of several religious sects, most being Anabaptists. These three notable Anabaptist radical divisions were the Mennonites, the Amish, and the Hutterites, all of which share many similarities but also share differences. The Mennonites stem from Anabaptist denominations, and as such choose whether or not they want to be baptized as adults. They are committed pacifists and do not identify themselves as being either Catholic or Protestant. Upon being formed in the 16th century, when almost any form of religious dissent was regarded as heresy, the Mennonites were subject to vigorous persecution, which played a significant role in shaping their identity. The persecution of Anabaptists and their predecessors led to the publication of Martyr's Mirror, or the Bloody Theater, in 1660, which is considered by them to be their most important text aside from the Bible. Though the Mennonites did suffer discrimination, they were allowed to coexist, because they were respected for their honesty, pacifism, and work ethic. They even enjoyed a certain degree of religious freedom in colonial America, but suffered from discrimination in Europe. Secondly, the Amish are often confused with the Mennonites, and indeed, there aren't that many notable differences between the two sects. One major difference, however, is that the Amish seek to completely detach themselves from worldly pleasures, resorting to simple and minimalistic lifestyles, and refusing to use a great deal of modern technology. Like the Mennonites, the Amish are somewhat pacifists in that they refrain from participating in military activity. They also practice non-resistance. They are also increasingly unable to accommodate to modern society. For example, they rarely educate their children past middle school, and they use buggies instead of cars. Unlike the Mennonites, who become more widely accepted in modern societies, the Amish continue to face discrimination. Also stemming from Anabaptist denominations, the Hutterites are pacifists, and because their beliefs forbid them from engaging in military practice, the Hutterites also suffered relentless persecution. As was the case with the Amish and Mennonites, their search for religious freedom resulted in a diaspora. However, the Hutterites differ from the Amish and the Mennonites in that they emphasize the importance of sharing property, the way Jesus and his apostles shared their possessions. The most important thing to keep in mind, the bottom line, is that despite all their differences, all of these Anabaptist sects thought the Bible was the only rule and their only guide for their faith and for their life. Because of this, they were in a rather precarious position, as the Anabaptists were persecuted by both Catholics and Protestants. Thank you for your time.